Direction Northeast. Hello, I'm Brittany Moore. This program is a presentation of the Communications Department of Northeast State Community College. This episode of Direction Northeast is about guitars, harmonies, and acoustic music. We'll meet our guests and start our discussion following these messages.
My name is Anthony Adams, and I'm IT support specialist at Northeast State Community College, which is also where I got my start. If I could offer any advice to anyone out there that's looking to pursue their education, my advice to you is just do it. Once you talk to someone here, you will see how easy it is to communicate with the employees here, and they're very willing and helpful to get you on your way to pursue your career.
I am the fourth generation of my family that's worked in automotive repair. My father always worked on cars, and his father was a mechanic, and my great-grandfather was a blacksmith. My name is Eric Henley, and I'm an automotive technician, and I got my start at Northeast State Community College. A two-year degree from Northeast State gave me the opportunity to own my own business and to support my family, which is what's most important. One thing I learned as a student at Northeast is that when you work hard enough, there's no limit to what you can achieve.
Our guests today are the self-proclaimed masters of low country groove. They are also the chief performers of what they call eclectic neo-soul and masters of nerd groove. The Billies are Christy Santoni and Craig Smith from Lancaster, Pennsylvania. Christy and Craig, welcome to Direction Northeast.
Thanks for having us.
Hello.
Thank you. So let's start at the beginning.
Okay.
How did the Billies come to be?
Do you want me to start that? I actually met him through my ex-boyfriend's band. My ex-boyfriend and I are really good friends, and I went to a show and he was playing drums, and I thought, that's him. And literally, we've been together 12 years ever since. I mean, we just started playing, and we started playing music together, and then we moved in together, and we've been together ever since. I like stole him from his reality.
So what exactly is low country groove?
Do you want to do that one, Craig?
Well, Chrissy lived in Savannah for a little while, and we like that area. We like to go through that area and stay in that area from time to time, and just like the marshes, and it's like the gumbo, the shrimp, and the food there, and the Spanish moss. So Chrissy came up with that term one time after we had been through there. It was like, oh, I like how this sounds, or this is how it feels to me when I play music.
A mixture of everything. So like low country boil. Have you heard of that?
Everything's in the pot.
Everything's in the pot. So we just kind of felt that was how we approached our songwriting and music. So.
Okay. So how is that different from eclectic neo-soul?
Oh my gosh. Eclectic neo-soul was a student we met a couple years into our touring that said it has like a neo-soul vibe. That's what they said to us. So we just kind of, it's so tough to put what you do into one category. So we just adopted that title too, like eclectic neo-soul. So like it has like a soulful feel for us. And then neo means new soul, and eclectic, that it's a variety of different things, or a variety of different song style approaches.
Yeah, a variety of stuff.
Yeah, because like sometimes we'll write a song that feels a little more country. Sometimes we'll write something that feels more pop. Sometimes we'll just draw from a bunch of different styles because we like everything. So I mean, we like good songs in every style of music. So.
Okay. So who would you say were your strongest musical influences?
Oh, geez. Do you want to say yours and I'll quickly say mine?
When I was younger, I was really, I liked the Doors a lot, and Led Zeppelin when I was, and then also I lived on Staten Island in New York City for a while, and disco was huge back when I was 8 and 9, like in the late 70s. And all I used to listen to the disco stations, and just like, these beats like this, and you hear it a lot nowadays. But what you hear nowadays is sort of disco, but with more electronics or a different production style. So disco was huge for me. So just that, those grooves like that, I'd have to say. And then I got into jazz later, like Miles Davis, John Coltrane, things like that. But I mean, I like percussive music mostly, like stuff that has good percussion rhythm, as opposed to stuff that doesn't. I'm more of a I'm a drummer, so it's anything with a good rhythm, good groove.
And I like anything with a good hook. So I
do too. So
most most songs that we would have listened to growing up, and
good hooks, good pop hooks, like pop music.
Okay, I would say Edie Brickell, and those are old school. And then I also like rap. I mean, I like old school, like NWA. I always say that because it's important to know that like I like stuff from like hardcore rap to like darn it, what's her name? We were just talking about her. She's huge. I don't remember.
Sia?
Well, Sia, but Taylor Swift. Like I was talking to Jim about like loving her new stuff. So, but then I can also like anything that has a good hook. So it really stylistically doesn't matter, but anything that like makes me feel good or something at all, kind of
Yeah,
thing.
it makes you, whatever makes you feel good.
Yeah.
So what inspired you to begin teaching the student songwriting workshops?
Oh my gosh. To be honest, I taught that type. I created the workshop when I was working at the YMCA years ago, working with children that were teeny tiny up into the age of like 13 or 14, and I loved doing that so much. And I just wanted to interact with students I wanted to be more interactive with them because I really enjoy seeing them do awesome things. And so I just loved working with students, and I thought this is something that we can do that is more of an educational experience. So would you say that's how?
You wanted to evolve what we do, I think.
Evolve,
I think,
like evolve.
Because we'd been
what we
playing
do.
a lot of, hour and a half shows and at different places, lunchrooms at colleges, wherever, cafeterias, coffee houses. We've done a lot of that. Wineries we played at. And then Chrissy thought of, well, what's the next level? Or where can we take music a little further down the line and do something a little different and more maybe engaging in a different level? So
yeah, and it's for us. It's I think like more. I get a lot of excitement out of seeing the students. I just love songwriting, so with them, it's just fun to see their eyes like get excited.
It's fun. It's like a speed songwriting session. It's like, okay, we have X amount of time. We're going to write this. We're going to record it. We're going to, we're going to come up with the melodies, everything. So let's go and just like let's get to it. And it's like it's fun, It's like because you have to focus. Everybody kind of focuses and on the same page, and it's fun. It makes you kind of sharpen your,
your
stuff.
brains.
Yeah, thinking, lyrics and stuff like that.
Good job. High five. That was exactly the explanation.
Is that what you're thinking about?
Yeah.
Huh.
Thank you.
So what you teach in the workshops, is that pretty much identical to your creative process when you write a song for yourselves?
It is. It's probably the closest. Two things. It's probably the closest to the way that we would write the song. We come up with the chord structure, which would be the sound bed, and then like melody and lyrical content. But it's kind of amoebic, so it is really really close to how I would create.
Yeah, it's
naturally.
it is
because it's not. We're not like, okay, Craig, now we're going. Oh.
No, I'm just kidding. I'm just teasing.
It's like we're not. I don't. It's more of a creative thing than it is a workshop of, okay, this is what we're going to do now, and that's what this is how you write a song.
It's not like that.
It's set up like any of the songwriters out in LA, wherever songwriters are doing this is how they do it. They sit in a room and someone has an idea, and then that sparks another idea. So it's meant to feel very much like that. So it's an authentic songwriting process. So it's not like I wouldn't be like, okay, this is what the verse does and this is what the chorus does. It's really more about feeling it, kind of feeling the song come to life.
It's kind of what you did. You said when you were doing the same thing, right, with Lindy Robbins and stuff. That's how it feels.
When I worked with a couple of songwriters that do it, out, professionally, and that's what they're doing for their living. That's how we did it. Like we took them an idea for this woman, Lindy Robbins. We played her music that we had written, and she created this melody and I wrote the lyrical content. So you never really know how it's going to come out, but it's really just kind of like, hey, let's sit in a room and write a song. So I mean, That's how you do it, right?
That's how we do it.
That's
yeah.
how the big dogs do it. So
And sometimes you'll come up with a melody first. I notice
right, that's true.
you'll be sitting there and just a melody will pop in your head, and then you find the chords that fit the melody, and then
Yeah.
you find a beat that fits the chords or whatever. So, sometimes a rhythm will inspire something, or
Yep.
so.
Yeah.
What do you feel is the importance of giving students the insight to the songwriting process?
I think the importance of it is to let them know that it's a process that is really contained in all of us, that it's possible to, it's not rocket science, so that if they see it happen, they're like, oh yeah, this is something I do. I don't even know I'm doing it. Like, they might have a melody that pops into their head, but because they don't do the process regularly, that it's something that is natural to them. I think it's more natural than it isn't. So that's what I feel the importance of the songwriting workshop is. Just to let them have some insight into something that they can create easily themselves. I guess that's like my hope for them.
Yeah, like expression, and a way to put expression into a form, like a song. And kind of how it goes into how it shapes, how you can express yourself into a form, which is the song,
Right.
And I think that's pretty important, and it's not, that's the beauty of it. It's not like reading it in a book. It's not watching it on a video. It's like doing it. It's really important.
It's like this, like you are doing this show, and that's exactly what the songwriting.
Yeah, so it's stuff bouncing off, like it's engaging,
Right.
It's so that's why it feels great.
Yeah.
They're fun,
So Chrissy, your song Mona Lisa has won multiple awards. What was the inspiration behind that song?
Oh my goodness, that's an awesome question. I worked on a film called Jersey Girl. I was a production assistant on this film called Jersey Girl. It was years ago, but starring Ben Affleck and Jennifer Lopez.
George Carlin.
George Carlin, okay, I won't forget George Carlin. But I was a production assistant, and the story of the song was about this guy, the movie was based on this guy who had lost his wife and how sad he was over losing her. So the song, my goal was to create this song that could be used in the film. That was my goal for it. So I based it on the script, and Mona Lisa is about, the song is really written from the perspective of Ben Affleck to Jennifer Lopez, that, she's gone, but she's not far from home. So that's like the story behind it. My mother submitted the song to a songwriting songwriting contest, which I never would have done, but she did it, and it won the Unisong International Songwriting Contest in 2003. It was, the grand prize winner for that, and that was awesome because it took me to LA, and I worked with Lindy Robbins and Alan Rich and Alan Roy Scott and Marcia Malamet, and they've all written with like tons of artists, and so that was my opportunity to see how they work, or like how songwriters work. So it was great, and that helped create an opportunity for me to write a song with Lindy Robbins called "It's All Inside," which brought us to Prague, and the song won an award that took us to Prague, so it was really neat. But
What would you say has been your biggest challenge as a band, and how did you overcome it?
our biggest challenge, can I say what I think it's been?
The one like if you had to pick out of all the challenges.
Right.
Okay, go ahead.
I think the biggest challenge is just continuing to pursue it, and believe that what you're doing is valid. So, and overcoming it, how do we overcome it? Just by like lifting each other up and just knowing that what we do is of value, even if no one else, even if we're not, I always say this, if we're not popular on Facebook, or we're not popular on Instagram, or we're not popular at all to other, to the masses, that what we offer is still valuable. And so that, I think that, because we're pursuing it still, and I mean, our age, in this industry is, I'm 42 and Craig's, I'm 42 and Craig's 46. So for us to continue to pursue something we love is, the age thing is a challenge, because, it's just, it's important in this business. It's really, like, if you're older than 19, you're out of the game, So I guess what we want to do is just be vital and still contribute and do something positive with our music, and just keep doing it. So
How has your music evolved since you first started playing together?
I think our sounds changed to a little bit. We've gone through kind of different phases. I remember we came to, we recorded 4 songs in East Nashville about 2007. So we were, at the time, I guess our sound was a little different, maybe a little more like country, whatever you want to say. I think that our playing's gotten better, tighter. I think that we've been playing, we write our own, we produce our own music, so a lot of the stuff we do now is to like drum loops and click tracks, metronome. So I think that's helped our timing. But so it's changed in that way. I think the time, it's become probably our timing is better.
And also we might write you more universally because we're playing in front of students a lot. So our audience is.
Yeah, when we started, we were playing in a lot of, and not bars, but coffee houses, 3-hour gigs in a coffee house, or like John and Peter's in New Hope, where you have 3 hours and you have to fill the time. So and the sound might be a little raunchier. Just different things like that. Now we're doing mostly the college
so
work.
It's
So it's I don't know. It's hard to say how it's evolved. I feel better about it now. It's because I think that we're further along and more comfortable. I think our skin has gotten way thicker. That's what I could say. Our skin has gotten thicker. Playing in front of people, talking to people, from those long gigs in front of people who a lot of times people are like this, or like, what are they doing, or who are these people?
Or watching multiple TVs while you're performing.
Yeah, there's like 40 TVs around the bar, and then people are texting while you're playing. So and that's not everybody. Then there are always the percentage of people who really love what we do. So those are the people we focus on. But all the apathetic people, or people who don't care, or the snarky people, have helped our skin get a little thicker in a good way.
Yeah.
So you can handle rejection or whatever it is, whatever that thing is. Like, you just kind of shunt those people to the side.
It's not as prominent.
It's not like, oh my God, somebody was texting while I was doing my big solo or something. Like, all right, text away. Because there were a group of people over here who really I can feel like us and like what we do. So I'm going to focus on those people who enjoy us. So maybe it's evolved internally, like our approach or how we feel about things.
So you would say that a thick skin is necessary to be in the music business?
Absolutely.
I think it's helpful because I think it helps because it can be brutal. I mean, brutal in the sense that you're sharing something with people and you want people to enjoy it, and if they don't, you can think it can hurt your feelings.
And and it's not like we get desensitized and cold and cut off.
I think
it's like a filter.
We don't beat ourselves up as much as we used to. We're just like not as hard on ourselves that way.
Better filter.
Yeah.
So you said that you play at a lot of college campuses, and that's a long way from Pennsylvania, all the way up and down the East Coast, right?
Yeah.
What motivates you, to travel those long distances?
We love being on the road. So for us it's hard for us to sit still. So for us to get in the car, it's like, oh, this feels right. So we just like traveling and like love meeting people, and so it's natural for us. I think it was just it's in us to kind of want to move a lot. And the further the better. Craig refuses to fly. So, and I'm not a huge fan of flying myself. So the furthest we've been in the past couple months is Miami. So, and last spring we were out in Denver. We flew to Denver, but we'll probably mostly drive just because we like to see everything, and that's the best part of doing this, is seeing all the details.
Yeah, you can see more. You can see more from the road.
Yeah, and
driving the road.
And when you fly, it just, you don't get to see as much. So, but that's what helps us to get in. And plus, I think you have to like to do it. You have to like to want to go to different places, and we just naturally do. So, it's fun.
So you also write children's music.
Yep.
what made you want to explore that area?
I was teaching. Let's see, after I was, did the film stuff, I started teaching early childhood music through a program called Music Together. And then I thought, I'm a songwriter, so I should write songs myself. And so we created Dancing Bears Music and just wrote a ton of songs. Kids music is fun because it
still sounds like us, though. It's like, it's basically, it's our sound, but
right,
with
kids.
Lyrics about nature and counting or animals and stuff. So it's,
It's fun, and honestly, it was a really good, it was just the obvious connection because we could create the music, so we figured why not create it, and Craig says that it's our most downloaded, what did you say? It's our most streamed?
I think it's more, the kids' music is more streamed and downloaded than the adult music.
Yeah, because there's not as many, there's less saturation, I think, in the...
It just seems like, maybe there are less, it's more open, there are less people doing kids' music, or maybe people like our style. People, it's a little different. It's not like, it's just chill. It's like, how do I say it? They might like our style of music.
It's more mellow. I think more mellow than most.
It's not blasty like Barney, like jumping up and doing, somersault music. It's like coffee house music, but if you're
for kids,
for counting, hearing lyrics about counting, or
So do you have any advice for somebody wanting to start a band?
My biggest advice would be just whatever you can do at that moment, do it. So if all you're doing is picking up your guitar and playing one string, play it. I mean, if that's all your skill level is at that point. If you're way beyond that and want to start a band, then you just have to have that passion and driving force to do it. No, don't expect anyone else to do it for you. Like, you be everything that you can be in that group. Like, manage yourself, book yourself, write your music, record it, keep everything in-house. Because then you can retain all the ownership, you can retain all the publishing, and don't think that someone else will do better for you what you could do for yourself. You know what I mean? Like, if you can't get into a band, create your own. If you can't get into a film, write your own film. If you can't get a booking agent, be your own booking agent. Like, don't use that as a reason to not do something. Like, just create your own opportunities that way, because then someone will want to bring you on to what they're doing because you're already doing it yourself. So just keep doing it every day, whatever those doing it things are.
Yeah, so I was gonna, if your passion is producing, we met a student yesterday whose passion is producing beats and basically sound beds, instrumental sound beds. And I would say, do that all the time. Anytime you're not doing something else, when you're not at work, when you're not doing whatever, schoolwork or with family or whatever, friends, do that all the time. Do what you love and what comes naturally to you, and do it all the time whenever you can. And also, the other thing I would add to that is work with only the best people for you. I would say, don't put up with or tolerate anybody who's pulling you back or is jealous, or work with only people who are on the same page with you, and who you feel are on your side and with you. I would say, don't waste time with people who are not 100% with you and who are sort of a negative influence. You have to cut them out if you're, I would say.
Chrissy and Craig, thank you so much for being here with us
Thank
today.
you.
Thank you. Thank you. We'll be back in just a moment to wrap up Direction Northeast.
Our family gets together nearly every weekend. We laugh together, we enjoy each other, we have quality time together, and Northeast State has afforded us those opportunities. I'm a graduate of Northeast State, and my husband's a graduate of Northeast State, and both of our children chose to go to Northeast State. And I think it's because it provided us with an affordable, quality education, and it was a wonderful experience. I'm Susan Graybill, and our whole family got our start at Northeast State.
Going to college was a big decision, but when I graduate from Northeast State, I know I can have a career.
Over half of our employees are graduates of Northeast State Community College.
When we see Northeast State on an application, we always give that candidate a second look.
Our company partners with Northeast State, knowing that their students graduate as trained professionals that become our employees both today and into the future.
Discover the career opportunities that await you. Northeast State Community College.
That concludes the program for today. We talked with the Masters of Nerd Groove, the champions of eclectic neo soul. Chrissy Santoni and Craig Smith are the Billies.
Go ahead.
I was a bad girl. Now you're gone. Packed up your bags, left me all alone. This is on the tip of my tongue. You said I was your only one, and all I got left are these words on the tip of my tongue. I sent you letters left unread, and now heart is broke. I think you're gone forever. This is on the tip of my tongue. You said I was your only one, and all I got left are these words on the tip of my tongue. I'm gonna be okay. I'm gonna be okay. I'm gonna be okay. I'm gonna be okay, okay. This is on the tip of my tongue. You said I was your only one, and all I got left are these words on the tip of my tongue. I'm gonna be okay. I'm gonna be okay. I'm gonna be okay. I'm gonna be okay. This is on the tip of my tongue. This is on the tip of my tongue. This is on the tip of my tongue. All I got left are these words. I'm gonna be okay.